Om Sri Sai Ram. Sundaramukha Shri Gajanana Ekadanta Shri Gajanana Prathamanamami Gajanana Rishimuni Vandita Gajanana He Rishimuni Vandita Gajanana. Om Sri Sai Ram. This is the only avatar who has declared if you need him, you deserve him. And as mentioned earlier, if we can love him and please him, then we need not even need him. There is no need to pray to even prove our needs to him. He anticipates the needs of the situation, needs of his children. Like Divine Mother, his love for each one of us, he has declared, is that of thousands mothers put together. I have given him a promotion on that. I said, Swami, no, your love is of millions and plus mothers for each one of us. We got to have Shraddha and Saburi. God is never in hurry, but he is always on time. We the humans are always in hurry, never on time. Patience is all the power a man needs. This nature works on this law of infinite patience. Tagore has written, I have mentioned somewhere, O Lord, what infinite patience you have. You take millions of centuries to transform one rock, one stone into a flower. Shraddha and Saburi. When Swami says trust in my wisdom, it actually means trust in my timings. If we can wait on him with joyful calm and loving trust, I repeat, with joyful calm and loving trust, he can do miracles upon us and he can do miracles through us. Yes, yes, yes. And he has done it. He has shown me. He has shown to millions. When we love him intensely, selflessly, and involve him in every small decision making. I know most of my friends, as we call them, poor husbands, even amongst my close relations, even my own brothers. They would not dare to decide anything without getting approval from their wives, even on small issues. One of our most loving friend, Colonel Sood, was security officer in Centurion. Once he came to our house, he was a regular visitor and we used to visit house. Yet to see is a more loving and gentleman person, that too from army. Beautiful, beautiful soul. Once he came and we had offered him tea, and even before taking tea, he looked at his wife. He got the body language, and then he started. I just jokingly told him, "Sir, you don't take tea also without her permission." He said, "Seriously, Harish, this is the secret of my peaceful existence for so many years." So when we can, and there are many, but those very people who dare not open their mouths in front of their wives dare to question God's credibility. Jokes apart, on serious note, when we can involve our boss at home or in our office to get to decide even small issues, even most of the corporates offices, government offices, everywhere we are required to take approval and consent and go ahead from our boss, is it not? So if we truly believe that Swami is our boss, I'm talking about this 5 feet 3 inch God, that omnipresent God, the universal God, we have already confined him to our temples, to our mosques, to our churches, so that he does not interfere in our day to day life. We can go and visit him whenever we wish on any particular day. We have fixed the date also. Every Jumma for namaz, and every Thursday for Shirdi Sai, every Mangalwaram for Hanuman and whatnot, Shani, Saturday, Shiva, Monday. We have given him each god one day, one time fixed. We go and just do the ritualism, and so long as we are in his presence in the temple, we all are noble souls. But what happens to us when we come out of the temple or mosque or church? We are our own real, practical, so called worldly self. And that is the reason, precisely the reason, we have confined that universal God in temples and churches. Our human mind is very smart mind. It is like a young man learning business from father. When he becomes confident, he doesn't want father to interfere in every decision making of the business. At the same time, he knows that he will need his support because everything belongs to father. So what we do is we create an air conditioned office inside our workplace for him to sit and relax. We tell him, now you are old, now you sit, I will do the job. And if required, I will take your advice, which we never do. And if he tries to interfere, we see to it that he is put at home respectfully. If at all we are good boys, good sons, this is what we do to our universal God. And that is how we make blunders, Himalayan blunders, every day, every moment. But we refuse to learn. Wise people learn from others' experiences. Average people learn from their own mistakes. Fools refuse to learn. and we dare to call our foolishness a sign of our progress. If we can get connected to Him for every small decision making, get connected and be benefited. Don't confine Him to temples and churches. Yes, we may visit temples and churches for our silent sitting and introspection. Manchidi, good, is a must. They have their own power. But don't confine God to that place, any place. Either He is universal God or He is your personal God. Temples and mosques and churches should be created and maintained, not for promoting any faith or any religion or any God. God doesn't need any agents. This is what to say. It is both selfish as well as foolish idea to confine him to any place, any nation, any religion, any God. Then he is not God. Then he could be a saint, or then of course we can limit him to one place because they have limitations. God is universal, or he is our personal God. We have to love that universal God as our personal God, and we are to serve our personal God as universal God. Serve Him in all. Unite to serve. Unite to serve Him, to please Him in all, to help all, to love all, knowing that all are in Him and He is in all. And once we understand this basic fundamental truth, then even the so called odd situation or odd persons, we will know that it is He who is operating through each and every individual, be it Ravana or Kaikai or Mantara. He is the Sutradhari of each and every one of us. I have told that story in my separate talk. The one who hit me is the one who is feeding me. There was my friend Colonel Lal in Bangalore. He narrated this to me. His daughter had a dream in US, saw me calling her to Puttaparthi. She believed in Baba but never had been to Puttaparthi before. So she rang up father telling him that I am coming by this flight, but we'll not go home. First we'll go to Puttaparthi, and then from after seeking Swami's blessings, then we'll come home. He said fine. So they drove directly from airport to Puttaparthi. It was afternoon, very hot afternoon. And they went to the accommodation office, and this gentleman being army person, and he was not actually a Samiti person in Bangalore, but a volunteer helping in every activity. He was a very noble person, a retired army officer. So he showed the identity, his identity, and showed the passport of his daughter, because NRIs are given special facilities and privileges to stay. But the person inside the accommodation, the old gentleman, he shouted at him, "Why are you showing off your identity of being an army officer or NRI? You don't have this basic sense of discipline. I'm talking to somebody else. Just be in queue. Don't try to push." He thought he was not pushing at all. He was just following because there was a separate queue for NRIs. But who can argue? The daughter heard, and she, being a daughter, she got emotional. She said, "Father, I'm sorry I got you here directly from the airport. I can't bear this, anybody insulting you like this. We don't want to be here anyone one for one moment. Let's go back." Young girl from US, impulsive, angry young woman, and apparently very right, very logical. But the father was wiser. He had that patience, the saburi, mature person. He said, "Fine, we'll go back. If we have, if you have rather come from US all the way directly to this place to see this gentleman in accommodation office and get offended by his remarks, then certainly we should go back. But if you have come to see Satya Sai Baba, who according to you came in your vision and tell you that come to Puttaparthi, if you have come to see him, then we have not yet seen him." The daughter understood. She said, "I'm sorry, Baba. We'll stay. We'll find accommodation outside." That very moment, a voice comes from the same office. "Sairam, sir, are you waiting for accommodation? Can I please help you?" Just 1 minute, 1.5 minute. They turned back to see there was another gentleman. He said, "Sir, please come inside." They went in. He then introduced himself hesitantly. He said, "Oh, sir, you are from army and she is NRI, so you should not be standing in queue. Come inside." He checked everything, passport, everything fine. He asked them, "You want room with furniture, with AC? I'll give you the best room. And I will arrange a labor for you to carry your luggage. Don't worry." Now father was looking at daughter and daughter was looking at father. But to just to give satisfaction to his daughter, this noble soul, he asked the accommodation person, "Sir, excuse me, just few minutes before there was a gentleman, and sorry to say he was very rude. I am also from Bangalore Samiti." He said, "No, sir, he is very loving, more loving than me. But due to age, he is a high BP patient, and today, at my request, he worked 2 hours extra. So maybe he got irritated because of that. He might not have taken his tablets or food at the right time. Otherwise, he is more loving than me. You can come in the evening, I'll introduce you to him. He is very loving." This is how divinity works. He can change the situation into situation in one moment if we only Have faith in Him, Shraddha and Saburi. His love can enlighten us to His awareness. His awareness can lead us to follow His ways, and His ways ensure His grace. Jai Sai Ram.